Namaste. Beautiful moment to read another chapter from Swami Anand Arun's book, Lone Seeker, Many Masters. This time it will be the 15th chapter and it is about Indira Devi. So please enjoy, sit down comfortably and listen to my voice as you are listening to running water. Indira Devi. Among the many spiritual experiences of Indira Devi, the most mysterious was her association with the 16th century mystic Mira. She repeatedly had darshan of Mira in her physical form. And I will show you a picture of Indira Devi. Very beautiful. So, during 1975 until 1976, every evening after my workday was over, I used to sell Osho books under the pepal tree in Nevrod, Kathmandu. Much has become of the place now, but back then it was a lonesome affair in nonchalant company of leisurable cobblers and occasional idlers. One lazy evening, unexpectedly, Professor Renulal Singh, secretary of the then King Birendra, came to my store to buy Osho books. As much as I was struck by the presence of this highbrow officer, what roused my curiosity was his grace and serenity that somehow set him apart from the rest of the mundane affair that Nevrod was. As I would discover later, Renulal Singh had been a close disciple of enlightened mystic Shivapuri Baba and a seasoned meditator. This friendship that started unassumingly from the shade of the pepal tree in New Road would bring me close to spiritual luminaries such as Dilip Kumar Roy, Roy's disciple Indira Devi, Swami Krishna Prem, Ram Das, and many more. He also helped me to understand Shivapuri Baba deeply. In no time, this friendship grew and we started meeting almost every day. In those meetings, we used to share stories from the lives of enlightened masters. Renulal was a sincere seeker and had an extensive knowledge of Indian masters. I was also deeply interested in mysticism, so this friendship was destined to go a long way. Through him, I got to know about the lives of Dilip Kumar Roy, Indira Devi and Sri Aurobindo, and I introduced him to Osho literature, which later became his literary staple. It was Renulal from whom I heard amazing stories about these two close disciples of Sri Aurobindo, Dilip Kumar Roy and Indira Devi. He also gave me their autobiography, Pilgrims of the Stars, which he had borrowed from the palace library. There was something ethereal about Indira Devi's picture in that book. The more I looked at them, the more urgent became the desire to go and meet her. Indira Devi, ethereal, poised and fragile, entranced me with her beauty and compassion that oozed out of her pictures. Somehow it was very difficult for me to take my eyes off the picture. It has been a while since I had borrowed the book and Renulal had to return it to the palace, so he started pressing me about it. Of course, I had already finished the book, but it was Indira Devi's picture I was reluctant to let go of. I went through several bookstores in Kathmandu to get a copy of the book, but to no avail. So I just took off its jacket, which had a beautiful picture of Indira Devi. The hardbound had the same design, and I prayed that Renulal wouldn't notice it. If he did, he never told me about it anyway. I was so fascinated by her that I used to carry her picture in my office bag and I used to gaze at her pictures. I felt as though she had been very close with me in some of my previous lives. I still have that jacket cover in my personal closet at my house in Tahachal. I learned from Renulal that after Sri Aurobindo's death, they were living in an ashram called Hare Krishna Mandir in Pune. In those days, I used to go to Pune at least twice a year to meet my master, Osho. I was determined to meet her the next time I was there. Dilip Kumar Roy was born into a well-educated and wealthy Bengali family. While he was studying in England, the famed Indian revolutionary leader Subhash Chandra Bose, was his classmate. He was also a close friend of Radha Krishna, the first president of independent India, who later appointed Roy and Indira Devi as the cultural ambassadors of India. Both tried to involve Roy in the Indian independence movement, but his spiritual zeal took him to Pondicherry, where he surrendered to Sri Aurobindo. He became Sri Aurobindo's close disciple, and Aurobindo considered Roy his spiritual son and friend. Roy wrote more than 112 books and countless plays and songs that he sang in his divinely gifted voice. His songs had a trance-like effect on the audience. Bertrand Russell, Roman Roland, Hermann Hesse, Nehru, Tagore, Radhakrishna and Gandhi were among the admirers of his singing. Indira Devi was born into an upper-class family in Quetta, present-day Pakistan. She was extremely beautiful and was a trained classical dancer. She had deep spiritual experiences from childhood. Her spiritual search brought her to Dilip Kumar Roy in Pondicherry. Sri Aurobindo regarded both of them to be true spiritual seers with very high consciousness. He had advised them to live together and had said that they would help each other in their spiritual growth and consider them spiritual counterparts. Among the many spiritual experiences of Indira Devi, the most mysterious was her association with the 16th century mystic Meera. She repeatedly had darshan of Meera in her physical form. Meera would appear in front of Indira Devi and narrate the story of her life to her. Meera also dictated to her the songs that she had sung for her beloved Lord Krishna. Before this association, only around 40 songs of Meera's were available, but she told Indira that she had sung more than 800 devotional songs in Rajasthani and Brij languages that were never recorded in any form. The songs that were available were also not in their original form. Indira Devi was born and brought up in a household greatly influenced by British culture. She could not read or write Hindi at all, but Meera sang all her songs to Indira Devi, who transcribed the words through automatic writing. The Hare Krishna Mandir has published the 800 devotional songs or bhajans in a series of 6 books titled Shrutanjali, Premanjali, Sudanjali, Bhavanjali, Deepanjali and Ushanjali. Mystics such as Sri Aurobindo, Mother Osho, then President of India, and renowned philosopher Radhakrishna, famous Saint Gopinath Kaviraj, Papa Ramdas and Krishnabai, among others, have authenticated these songs. These songs are being broadcast from All India Radio and Doordarshan TV as Meera's bhajans. Acclaimed singers around India have started singing these songs as well. Important spiritual texts that have been destroyed for some reason or the other have again come to life due to the efforts of some clairvoyant seers. Sri Aurobindo, Madame Blavatsky, Machiavelli, Leadbeater and Anne Besant are some such seers who have brought back spiritual texts that were lost to the world. 2 such ancient texts, 7 Steps of Samadhi, rewritten by Blavatsky, and Sadhana Sutra, rewritten by Machiavelli, have been praised and explained by Osho in his books with the same titles. Since I had a deep desire to meet Dilip Kumar Roy and Indira Devi with due permission from my master Osho, I went to the Hare Krishna ashram in Pune. Upon arriving there, I found out that they had left the ashram that very day for a spiritual tour. For the next 3 years, whenever I went to meet them, I would find out that my arrival and their departure would coincidence every single time. It was rather uncanny how she always left the very day I arrived and would come back the day I left Pune. At times I would stay in Pune for months, and even then I could never meet her. Not understanding the mystery behind such recurring happenings, I asked Osho for the explanation. He told me the reasons in detail, but since they are very personal and spiritual secrets, I cannot reveal them here. I can never forget that balmy summer's evening of 1978. I went to the Hare Krishna ashram and found out that Dilip Kumar Roy had already left his body, but I was surprised to hear that Indira Devi was in the ashram. Usually she didn't meet anyone other than the disciples of Aurobindo herself, but as soon as I sent my name to her room, she called me up. She was enjoying the evening on the rooftop with a few of her disciples. She received me with great love and intimacy. After our first meeting, we became very close to each other, as if we were fellow travelers of many lives, or perhaps even the fellow pilgrims of the stars. Whenever I went to Pune, I would spend time in her satsang. Also, she did not like meeting anyone other than her own disciples. She showered her compassion on me ceaselessly. She would not deny me a meeting even when she was sick. She had tremendous respect for Osho, but she did not openly say that to others. As I had not been able to meet Dilip Kumar Roy, she would repeatedly tell me, "You missed a beautiful soul." In one of our meetings, I invited her to come to Kathmandu. Since my ashram in Tarachal was very basic, I was worried about her comfort. When I told her so, she said, "I will come to Kathmandu just for you, and I will not stay anywhere else but in your place." When I told her that I was going to the Aurobindo ashram in Pondicherry, she said, "You must go and meet the old residents who have lived with Sri Aurobindo. They are beautiful people." In the large library of the Pondicherry ashram, I didn't find one book by Dilip Kumar Roy or Indira Devi. When I asked them the reason for this, they replied harshly, "We don't have any regard for them here, and don't mention their names again." I was very much inspired by the vision and concept of Auroville. It was designed to accommodate 50,000 seekers from all over the world. At the top of it, the place was to be totally secular space, inviting people of all nationalities and faiths. The Indian government immediately recognized the worth of the idea and agreed to provide a basic stipend and non-tourist visa to any foreigner who is accepted at Auroville. Auroville highly inspired me to build Tapovan. Tapovan is also a secular space open for seekers of any faith, any nationality or any creed. Every year we have visitors from at least 80 countries who come and meditate here. A lot of them often ask us to help them secure visas for longer periods of time. But it's still a long way before the Nepalese government would secure the same status for Tapovan. Although I was quite impressed by the master plan of Auroville, somehow I missed the presence of a master there. Development too was rather slow. The next time I met Indira Devi, I told her, "You're a true devotee of Aurobindo with very high consciousness. You should be in Auroville materializing your guru's dream. What are you doing here alone?" She looked at me mysteriously and said, "Your guru is still alive, so you will not understand me now. You will understand everything once your guru leaves your body." His body. When Osho left his body in 1990, all his true devotees and those who wanted to spread his work around the world were banned from entering the Pune ashram one by one. The ashram management fell into the hands of rags who desecrated the whole place. A holy ashram turned into a holiday resort. They slowly took out all of Osho's pictures from the ashram and banned the celebration of his birthday, his Enlightenment Day and Guru Purnima. I then understood what Indira Devi had said to me years ago. Indeed, saints like her had clairvoyant vision of the future. To build an ashram is not an easy feat. It requires a lot of sacrifice, penance and hard work from dedicated disciples. These sacrifice and hard work in turn brings affluence to the ashram. Once the ashram grows affluent, people who are interested in everything else but meditation gather there, making it extremely difficult for the genuine seeker to continue their practice. The conspiracies and politics get so entangled that many real seekers have no choice but to leave. I have noticed that this has been the state of almost all ashrams after the guru leaves his body. All gurus regularly test the disciples on how surrendered and accepting they have become. I have also been through such acid tests. Between 1978 to 1981, whenever I lived in a Pune ashram, I would only get menial work such as sweeping, dishwashing, cleaning the bathroom, and doing laundry. By then I was a certified engineer, and there was a lot of clean work that I could do at the ashram. I had also finished all my money, and the ashram did not provide me any food pass. Also, I worked for 10 hours every day. I lived in the dormitory and paid for my own food and accommodation. Osho did not meet me and made sure that things were very difficult for me. It would often sadden me and leave me helpless. When things got too heavy, I went to Indira Devi for consolation. I felt that if I could manage to get a room at her ashram, it would solve a lot of my problems. Since she had always been very loving towards me, naturally I was inclined to believe that she could easily arrange a room for me. When I hesitantly told her the real reason for my visit, for the first time I found her stern. She said, "Sadhana is not window shopping. You buy some from this shop and some from that shop. Whether you live or you die, it should be at your Guru's feet. It is because of immense compassion and great possibilities of the disciple that the master is sometimes very uncompromising and his ways severe. All this is arranged for your own good." It took me 25 years to fully discern the truth of her words and Osho's compassion. When Osho suddenly left his body in 1990, I was totally devastated by the news. I felt like an orphan. The world became dreary and meaningless. Unable to contain myself, I once again went to Indira Devi and asked her, "Under whose instructions do I work now? My Guru always pruned my ego. Who will melt my ego now?" Indira Devi said with confidence, "Now you should go back to Nepal and you will find that your master has reached there before you. The responsibility of your spiritual growth is his, and he knows how to do his work very well. He will use you as his medium in the future and do great work through you." We had been struggling for years to acquire property to build a commune in Kathmandu. As Indira Devi had proclaimed, Osho indeed had reached Nepal before me. Miracles started unfolding themselves, and within 2 months, Osho Tapoban, our ashram in Kathmandu, materialized. With every passing year, this mystery school is only growing, making me realize the truth behind her divine prophecy. Indira Devi was there to guide me in one of the most difficult times of my life, when Osho left his body. She not only gave me the faith that my master had not left me by leaving his body, but Indira Devi, who has already left her body, continues to guide and inspire me with the same loving compassion.